Welcome to Campfire Wisdom. Grab a seat around the fire and tell us your story.
Well, welcome back to Campfire Wisdom, everybody. We are out here at, what is it? Mid-Hills Campground. And by the way, I had a revelation that I don't mind sharing the name of cool campsites.
Okay.
Because if there's so few people listening right now that if you're listening, you're cool enough to know where those sites are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope you're okay with that.
Hey, it's up to you. It's not my podcast, you know.
Well, you know,
I-
this is
I
a
may-
democratic podcast
I
here.
may do things different if should it be mine, but it's not
All right.
mine.
All right.
So you
All
know,
right.
hey.
Well, you know, maybe I should ask you, do you feel comfortable revealing this campsite?
Yeah, I mean, it's better for people to get outside,
Yeah.
but I mean, I just would think, long term, you know, it exposes it, but at the same time, there's so many places. Ultimately,
Yeah, true.
we should be good.
We'll get out here. This is beautiful out here. Actually, it's kind of cool. We drove in at night, so we really have no idea what the actual site looks like under the light of day. But I can tell you, if some of the trees out here, they're juniper trees. They're all twisted and gnarled. They're fucking awesome. And the sky is an open canopy right here. It's amazing. Literally from east to west.
Yeah,
north to south.
I haven't seen. Oh wow, like the Big Dipper too. Look at that. Boom.
Oh shit!
What a great
Wow,
view
did you
of
see
that.
Orion's
You
right
can
behind
see
us too?
everything tonight.
It's fucking dope. Yeah, this site is a little bit to the southwest of Nipton, California, which is right on the Nevada border. So,
Mm-hmm.
magical Nipton.
Yeah. That was a fun visit today.
Yeah, it was. So we went to Nipton, California. It is the site of a company called American Green has bought the town, and their long-term goal is to make it like a
Yeah, a destination I think for festivals and parties, but also like make it a cool. Like I guess the idea is that it's supposed to be energy efficient city eventually. Hotels. Mostly a tourism town.
yeah, that's cool.
Kind of a one-stop pot shop.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, American Green is a company that is very deep into the medical marijuana business. Well, now I guess recreational marijuana business.
And they really had the town decked out in American Green, like the woman who ran the trading post and the hotel both had.
I know.
Or she had the shirt on.
I kind of want to get one of those shirts.
Dude,
They're pretty dope,
I
right?
know, and people would ask about it.
I know. Like, what's American Green? It's
What's
like,
American Green?
yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm sold on the idea. So, yeah, this company's brilliant. So they bought this town. They're gonna do festivals. They're trying to get into the marijuana cultivating business, but yeah, I mean, think of it. It's right. What was it? 15 minutes to the Vegas to the Nevada border.
Yeah, about 20 minutes total.
So that's Prim, and there's like Whiskey Pete's there, Buffalo Bills,
Mhm.
and what was the other one called?
I think called Prim Valley Resort or Prim Resort.
Prim Valley Resort Casino or something like that. But there's 3 casinos within about a 20-minute drive, so you could, you know, get your kicks on at Nipton.
And an outlet mall.
An outlet mall. You're right. There's plenty of fucking retail shopping too. It's like a little bit of Mecca. Why would anyone want to go to Vegas if you could just go to Nipton, California? You know,
It's simple.
it's simple. Yeah.
What's cool is the town is right on a train station. So I liked that it. They said they had plans to like build a tunnel underneath to where they'll have a concert venue.
Dude, that's so cool,
I
man.
thought that was cool when she said that. That was nice.
Yeah.
Nice to see that.
Yeah, seeing that train go by while we were standing right there was fucking dope.
Mm-hmm.
This fire is just raging. There's something cool about finding a campground that you haven't been to before. That's just legit, you know. Oh, dude, now that the fire's out, now look at the sky, bro.
Yeah. Ooh.
Wow. Holy mackerel, this is great. There's no moon tonight. There's like no fucking moon pollution.
You can see a little bit of the Vegas skyline lights reflecting off the clouds way over there, but
Yeah,
it doesn't really affect us directly above, at least.
yeah. Yeah, that is what that glow is, huh? There is a slight glow.
Wow.
Dude, Big Dipper is powerful tonight, man. Wow.
How much life is out there?
Yeah. No shit. Kind of like we were talking earlier, remember the Men in Black? The scene at the end where the aliens are playing with marbles that are galaxies. We could be like that. It's so naive to think that someone could say we're the only life in the world, in the universe. That seems so stupid, doesn't it?
It does. If we really are the only people in the entire multi-universe, that's impressive.
You're right. That would be
That's more impressive than there being life everywhere.
Dude, I totally agree. That is by far more astonishing
Yeah.
than finding out that yeah.
Yeah.
That's less likely.
That's less likely.
Yeah, I bet you, what are the numbers on that, right?
I don't know. They're big. Bigger than I can comprehend.
I don't know if anyone else out there is crazy enough that they record their own thoughts and memos.
Yeah, people do. I do, but whoever uses them again, that's the shitty thing.
No, it's when I go through them,
you're
I'm like, what was I
damn, I
thinking?
have a good idea. You write it down.
Exactly.
And then if you ever go back to it, you're like, oh yeah.
All right,
I guess I could set that aside.
I'm gonna label this "Go back to this one." All right. I'm doing the note right now.
Okay.
I'm labeling this voice memo, "Go back to this one." And the idea is, it is by far more likely, or I should say, by far less likely that we are the only form of life in the universe. Check the numbers on that and report back. So don't forget about this memo. Bye.
Did we talk about how long our life is in comparison to what Earth is believed to be?
No, not like perspective. I think we did stroke Cosmos for a little bit. We talked about how dope Cosmos was. But I never specifically talked about that.
We ran the numbers once. I think it was like my brothers and I.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's estimated that the Earth is around 4 billion years old.
Okay.
Okay. And if we took an average human lifespan and we said about 75 years.
Okay.
We might have done 80, somewhere between 75 and 80 as the average human. We might have even looked it up. But anyways, 75 years to 4 billion
Mm-hmm.
is equivalent to a quarter of a second to 75 years.
Wow.
So if you were to put the Earth's life in human life terms and say the Earth dies at 75 years old, we would be a quarter of a second.
Jesus.
Our entire lifespan.
Wow. In the framework of the entire span of the existence of Earth. That's crazy. That's like, that's your life.
75 years, 4 of those go in 1 second.
Wow, dude. That's crazy. How long did it take you guys to figure that out?
I don't remember, and we're those exact numbers might be off smidge by a little, but it came down to right about.
That's cool.
That.
I trust. Was Ian doing the math?
It might have been actually me, Ollie, and Simon. I don't know
Okay.
if Ian was there that time.
Okay. Well, as long as you put the
Some
stick
of the
rods,
engineers.
there was stick rods putting their heads together. That's all.
Well,
that matters.
I'm the big concept one, and they're the detailed smart ones.
Yeah.
Because I trust their math more than I trust mine.
So true. So true.
They're all.
It's nice to know that you could rely, like if you were in like this in the past in this like small town like you would like Oliver would probably be the blacksmith, maybe Simon's the surveyor, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Everyone's had their own skills.
Yeah, it's nice to have an engineer brother, a geologist brother, and a brother who didn't go to any school but is smarter than both of those two combined.
Yeah.
To fact check them.
Yeah.
And I just sort of sit in the middle and kind of say, yeah, good idea. Yeah, we should do this. Yeah.
You're the idea man. You're the idea man. That's funny. I have two brothers who would be recluses. They'd be like, "We don't see Chris and Ross." I'm like, "Yeah, you won't see them. They're out in the woods somewhere."
So it's you and Brian.
Me and Brian. Brian would be like, he'd be like Behan from like Tombstone, you know, like the sheriff, the you know, politician kind of guy.
Yeah, like everybody likes him, but he's a little shady.
He's a little shady. He's just like, you know, kissing babies. He's the politician guy. I'd probably be maybe a deputy or something. I don't think I'd want to be sheriff.
You talking about an old Western?
I don't want the responsibility. I'm talking about. Apparently, I'm talking about if my life was an old Western town. Jesus. Apparently, I got that. It's the setting, dude. Look at that. You can see the fucking junipers.
Yeah, well,
on
we
that
just
tree.
we just left Nipton, the old mining town.
Yeah, man.
Actually, it wasn't really a mining town. It was more of a cattle stop / miner camp.
Yeah. What was it called? Nippona Camp, right? Or Nippora?
Nipponi or no?
Yeah,
Nippono?
Nippono or something. Nippona.
Nippono.
Nippono. Thank you.
Nippono,
It's two P's. Nippono. That's right. Nippono Camp. Yeah. By the way, dude, I forgot to mention. We are out here camping and we have a Christmas tree next to us. So this Christmas tree has not been properly disposed of. So Al figured he should just burn it himself.
It's time to return it to
Yeah,
Earth in its original elemental state.
exactly.
By the way, the trees out here are what's tripping me out, man. These
I
things
know.
are incredible.
Did you try to like push on one of them? They're so fucking strong. It's unbelievable.
Really? I mean, they look like
They're so sturdy. It's
hard as
unrealistic.
oak.
Like you would think you can bend it, right? You can bend that one, right? Try to bend it,
Oh, damn.
right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's got some.
I know. I couldn't believe it.
It's like half petrified.
I know. And this is, dude. This is. I'm sure it's not the same.
Desert's
exact tree,
harsh, man.
but they make fucking. They can make gin out of juniper berries. You don't have to, but. Is that interesting?
Yeah, it is interesting. I didn't know that. That's so funny that you said you don't have to. You don't have to.
You don't
make-
have to if you don't want to, but you could. I'm feeling great. This is perfect.
Yeah, but I didn't expect this many trees out in the desert like this. I thought
Right?
it'd be way more brush.
Yeah. And this is the perfect time to come here because it's not so fucking hot. In the summer, it's
Or cold.
brutal. Yeah, it's perfect.
I mean, I can handle the 40s. 40s are fine. Actually, 40s are fine for anybody if you're properly
Yeah, geared up.
geared up.
Yep. And you hit it on the first time we sat down and chatted. It's like, it's totally reasonable to get out during the week, especially if it's something close. I mean, this is maybe on the cusp of being too far. If you're off at 7, you're going to drive 3.5 hours.
People could camp on their days off if they wanted to.
Oh, that's the beauty of this. Like, it's fucking Wednesday.
Right.
I mean, no one's out here. It's fucking awesome. There's one other person here. The idea you came up with on the poker game is genius, by the way. So, to explain what I'm talking about is, Alex had this great idea that, so instead of just people getting together and playing poker and everyone puts $20 in and there's 10 guys, the winner takes $200 home, effectively. You put the money into an investment that everybody can partake in. So when you win the game, you get basically all the money that's pooled for that night is put into shares. So the winner of the game doesn't win the cash and walk away and then everyone goes their separate ways, but the money goes into a pool that the winner is the CEO for that month. And the first 6 months are going to be gathering resources. So whoever's CEO could be a schmuck and blow it, am I right?
Well,
Or you have to wait to the 6 months till the first
yeah,
vote,
the
right?
CEO is not going to doesn't decide on who on what happens with the money.
Until the 6th month.
Not even then.
No.
The CEO is just the technical term for the highest shareholder.
Oh, okay,
But there's
gotcha.
no extra power
Okay, gotcha.
other than you have more shares than people. So when it comes to putting a vote out there,
Okay,
you have a slight advantage.
okay, gotcha.
That's it.
Okay. It'd be interesting, like, if our motives actually are different. It's probably won't even, because we probably all have very similar goals with it, but I like the fact that there is some element that someone will be in charge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know if someone will be in charge because it's a shareholder thing. We're calling the CEO
Okay.
the person who is currently holding the most shares. So if Matt Almina holds the most shares for 4 months in a row,
Okay.
he is the CEO until someone takes over
Okay.
more shares.
Okay, gotcha.
But if Paco were to win next week and overtake him in shares, Paco would be the new CEO.
Oh, I see. Yes.
But the
of course.
CEO
Because
is-
you earn a set amount of shares that don't diminish. They
Yeah.
just keep improving every time.
Yeah.
Essentially. Okay.
So all you're doing is just compiling money and compiling shares
Okay. That's fantastic. Okay.
and dispersing the shares based on how you finish.
Yeah, I love the idea. Because if you think about it, if you raised, so the last game was like $500, let's just say. I think it was like close, right?
460.
460. So it ran up to 5, but 5 times 12, that's fucking shit. That's $6,000 in a year, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's $6,000 you could use towards something that, an actual solid investment, buying
Yeah.
maybe stock in American Green,
Yeah. An asset.
an asset that can appreciate.
$6,000 would get you
Oh shit, don't want to breathe that in.
almost $4 million or 4 million shares.
That would get you 4 million shares of American
Green.
Oops. Yeah. Not a bad investment. Then you're owner in a small town called Nipton. Right?
Yeah. So is there anything you want to talk about for your podcast specifically?
I do want to ask you about your how you're doing with your whole your loss of your truck.
The loss of my truck.
Yeah.
It's been a tough journey because I've had the truck for 7 years, and I was able to access just about any off-road or four-wheel drive road in California and Arizona.
Yeah.
And now I can probably access about a quarter of them. And it really cuts out. I didn't realize that was going to be as significant of a loss, or feels like a significant loss in my life as it is. On top of just moving stuff around.
Yeah.
I actually like helping. I'm one of the few people that has a truck who likes helping people move shit.
Mm.
I don't know why, I've always kind of enjoyed that in a weird way.
I didn't mind it. Sometimes if I couldn't, when I had a truck, I would just let them borrow my truck.
Yeah.
So you traded your Tundra in for the RAV4.
Yeah, and it was a move for certainly for to aid the environment and practicality around Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Is a factor. My truck got hit 3 times sitting out in my
It's really that's terrible. 3 times. Fuck.
That's just in that apartment. I got hit another time at another apartment.
my
It's
God,
a big
that's
truck
right.
for the streets of LA.
Dude, I think
People bump into it a lot.
the road you live on now is like a thoroughfare for like the drunks, dude. They try to get there to bypass the freeway.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Not to mention, I ripped off a bumper once with it. I mean, things happen. Things happen. A lot of
You
things
may
happen.
or may have not have been in my old neighborhood.
Yeah, but
Oh,
yeah, but
that's funny.
that's a bigger loss than I thought
Maybe
it would
that's-
be.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Maybe that was karma.
Oh, it was karma.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But I miss just the simple things,
Yeah.
like being in a parking lot and just be able to drive forward over the curb, the little curb in front of you,
Yeah.
which is a little disrespectful, but sometimes
Easier.
easier.
Yeah. Yeah, in many ways with that truck you had no limitations because you could you could take it anywhere.
Yeah, and it just felt like, oh, there's a closed gate. Oh, well, I could just drive just jump right over those rocks real quick and get around it, and I'm good.
Yeah, we would never have been able to go to that place Lupine without that truck. That was a nice truck, man.
Yeah, I feel I think what you don't realize is because And we got a good feel of it today when we're driving on the freeway in Nevada, and you see darkness and nothing but lights, headlights and taillights, red versus ants on a road. And if you think about all of those human beings, 98% of them will never step foot even 100 yards left or right of that freeway.
True.
Ever.
True.
But when you have a four-wheel drive vehicle and some sort of off-road vehicle, you have access to so much more of the state.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're true.
Or the country. You have access to so much more of the country that the rest of the country doesn't. And that's what I miss.
Yeah. In many ways, you're settling for less when you get anything but a 4x4 in some ways.
Yeah, but, you know, and most people don't think you need it or don't need it themselves, because how often do people really actually do it? But I've found that I really actually did and do still do that, even with, you know, my brothers and stuff. But yeah, people are missing out because there's some beautiful spots out there you can't get to. Even if you parked your RAV4 or your Forester or whatever SUV you have, and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna go on like a little hike in, 2-3 day hike in. Even then, you still can't get near as far as you can with some really good vehicles, getting you deep in there and then doing that kind of thing.
True. True.
There are still fossils to be found.
Do you think about if dinosaurs were like all over the place? I wonder how many actual bones they found.
You know,
I bet you there's tons.
We're probably in
underneath us.
pretty prime dinosaur territory right around here.
Yeah, I feel like Joshua trees are like they look like this fucking tree looks like it could be in a dinosaur, you know.
Like a
brontosaurus walks by.
Eat it like broccoli.
Totally. Yeah. This was probably broccoli to brontosaurus. You're probably right.
Yeah, I mean, it might have been. They might have just like kind of sucked it off of a popsicle stick, you know, because the wood's a little too strong there.
Totally. But then it would have sprouted back, and they would have just come back and eaten it the year after. We are in prime dinosaur territory, guys. It's not verified, but it seems like it.
No, not verified, and especially because back then the vegetation was probably so much different.
True.
You know, it could have been.
Dude, Joshua trees look like they're from that era, though, right? If they're like green and like.
Well, I mean,
budding.
they look like it, but I mean, this could have all been fucking jungles back then.
Or ocean, right?
Yeah, because this was covered in oceans at one point.
True. Or maybe what are they, Pleistosaurus, the ones that swam? This is their broccoli.
That's what's cool about camping with Simon, is he's got all the history knowledge of this area. Well, not even just this area, but all, you know, the Rockies and how
geological stuff.
Yeah, how everything came put together.
Geology is fucking awesome.
You know what he was explaining to me? I didn't realize
Yeah.
the Rocky Mountain Range and like the way the mountains are essentially is just a reverse image. This is the way I envision it.
Okay.
If you imagine the mountains that come up
Mm-hmm.
are hot boiling water, the shape of it pressing up essentially through earth, like a wave. So a wave crashing onto shore. Okay. Imagine that shape.
Mm-hmm.
Now imagine that underground
Okay.
at extreme temperatures.
Okay.
Okay. The water flowing underneath and being pressed and pushed until it gets to a point where it solidifies,
Mm-hmm.
almost like a wave as the pressure pushes it up.
Hmm.
And that's why I didn't at all explain it to the way my brother, a geologist, would, but that was like the gist of what I got of the way these mountains are
So like the
formed.
wave of lava that goes under the plate crashes, and then that's the pressure that kind
Yeah.
of comes back.
Yeah, the lava, and I think mixed with the water. I think it's all the water even itself eventually needs to be released, you know?
Okay.
But Anza Borrego is somewhere where I'd like to spend more time.
Yeah, that's just a cool desert, right?
I like it up here though too, man.
I know.
Now that I think about
I've never been on this preserve, dude. This is what the Mojave
Mojave National Preserve.
Mojave National Preserve. So recently I've been talking about like camping essentials.
Mm-hmm.
EDC, you know, having some type of knife and
I
whatnot.
heard that episode. I have the Kershaw.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
right. That's right. I can't believe I lost my Kershaw. Fuck, I'm so
yeah.
mad about
Yeah.
myself. But
Yeah, my other knife is a Gerber. Just one of those standard, you could throw it 1,000 times against a brick wall and it would still be in contact. But I
Yeah.
want to get something else. I want to get something a little more old school stylish, wooden handle kind of thing.
okay, like a full solid blade or a folding blade,
Yeah, full solid blade.
Okay.
And a holster and that
and a
kind
sheath,
of thing.
really? Okay.
Yeah, I want to get that for when I'm out here because I want to have quick draw.
Okay.
I'm not
Yeah.
one to carry. I don't want to carry a sidearm,
Yep. Okay.
but I want to carry a nasty blade.
All right.
I feel like I'm comfortable with that as my defense.
Okay, that's fair.
And should I need it, if I were to be camping and hiking and such in Yellowstone or Alaska and Canada, I'd certainly be either a sidearm or a air horn or something.
Yeah.
I would definitely have some more bear resistant
Yeah.
stuff.
They say that bear spray is like super effective. In some
yeah,
cases,
I mean,
they say it's even more effective
bears
than
not
guns.
gonna, unless you're sleeping, it's not gonna sneak up on you.
Yep.
So you should have enough time to be able to get that ready.
Yeah, exactly.
A lion might sneak up on you, but you try to keep your eyes out if you can.
Yeah, mountain lion. Goddamn, mountain lion, dude. They're
I hope I never have a negative encounter with a mountain lion, but I would like to see one in the wild.
I would like to see one too.
But good luck, man.
I know they're elusive.
Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe it's kind of just my natural fear, but I whenever I'm walking around and hiking in the wilderness, I'm always looking up.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm in a situation, there's a cliff above me
Yep.
or a tree.
Yep.
I feel like I always have an eye up there, and maybe it's just because we're talking about lions, so I think that's what I do. But I really think I'm watching out for that.
Yeah.
Like I in any situation, you always kind of want to think, at least be prepared for the worst case scenario.
Totally.
And really, if you're in the wilderness, probably the worst case scenario, other than getting lost and living a slow death without water, would be a lion attack, or you get caught in the wrong side of a forest fire.
Yeah, totally.
And you can't get back to the road, or the road's blocked, or that's be something I don't know 100% you'd be able to get out of if you didn't have the proper warning and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think you could.
If it came out of nowhere, like
Yeah.
obviously you wouldn't go camping if there's a fire out there.
True.
But if it started while you were out there,
Yeah.
and it does happen,
Yeah.
that's one thing that I've thought about. You got to be prepared for exits and things like that. So for me, Campfire Essentials, I think ultimately is first survival.
Yep.
So you need your 3 W's.
Yep.
Your water, weed, and a whistle.
I love it. I love it.
I will say a whistle is important
Yeah.
because should you 127 hours yourself,
Mm-hmm.
wedge yourself between some fucking rocks or something,
Yep.
or fall and break several bones and your ribs and legs like a friend of mine and Melissa's did. Very experienced hiker. She was in Sequoia. She went up for an afternoon hike. She was only going to do like a 2-hour thing. Actually, literally parked at Potwashaw Campground.
Wow.
You know the creek right there
Yeah.
that runs right through it?
Yeah.
She hiked a trail that went along there, and she got further up from where the campground was, like a 45 minutes or so.
Okay.
And I think the story is she was either going to take a picture or was eating a sandwich or something. So, I don't know exactly, but somehow she dropped her backpack like down this thing, and she reached for it and fell like 20 or 30 feet
Oh, Jesus.
off this cliff and landed on this little kind of isolated thing in the water, but like hit rock and broke a bunch of bones and broke her leg, whatever. But she was at a point where she couldn't get out back. The trail was up there and there's rushing water. So if any other hiker came by, they're not going to hear
Oh, wow.
yelling,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So she thought she was going to die. She, on her phone, did a goodbye video. She spent the night out there.
Wow.
I think she spent the night, and she almost spent another night, if I remember correctly. And some hikers heard her whistling, either with a whistle or her whistling. She's a very, very, very experienced hiker. Like, she does 2-week hikes kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So she didn't bring all her survival gear because she was just going to do like a 2-hour
night hike, huh?
Yeah, like, well, not even a night hike. Just
Wow.
like a 3 in the afternoon to 5 in the afternoon kind of, before it got dark hike. But just off the trail enough, just out of earshot enough to yell. And of course, you're exerting energy. If you broke your rib, good luck yelling.
Yeah, no shit. She's lucky to be alive.
She really is. And
Yeah.
they had to helicopter her out of there.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That's a cool story to have, cool lesson to learn. Think about it, she's probably going to be more prepared for any experience ever in her life.
Yeah, and the thing was, the story was that her roommate was very, very mad at her because her roommate always told her to be more prepared and to never go alone and to tell him where she was going.
Yeah.
That's the key. That's the number one thing is, even 127 hours, it's the same thing. Like if you don't tell anyone, even the general 10 square miles or 20 square miles where you are,
Yep.
then who the hell knows?
You're fucked. I know.
You fucked yourself by
True.
doing that, really,
True. So water, weed, and a whistle. Do you got your whistle on you?
I got a whistle in my bag in there.
Do you really?
In my bag, yeah.
I need to get one. Shit. That's a good idea. I feel like...
Yeah, and I have a couple pills. I have a few of those water purifying pills.
Yep. I have a life straw.
And I have a straw thing, the packet or whatever.
Cool.
Thing. A few of those. Not that there's many water sources around here.
I know. But dude, life straw is a critical thing, actually. What a genius idea, too.
Mm-hmm.
I used when we went to Zion and we did the Narrows. The water's in there. You could probably drink from it, but you probably shouldn't, just for being not a jackass, because it's not a good idea to get a parasite or whatever could be in there. But I was using the straw. It was kind of nice, dude. It was like such clean water, and then
I remember using that Gisela's thing that she had.
Oh, the pump, yeah.
Yeah.
The pump's nice too. But that's kind of cumbersome,
Mm-hmm.
If you can just have the straw and just drink when you need to drink,
Yeah.
it's kind of cool.
Yeah, the water is key, clearly. But the weed is important because you've got to keep your anxiety and stress levels to a minimum in any emergency situation.
It's true. How about gadgets? Do you have any gadgets that...
I'm not too much of a gadget person. I don't like to over gadget.
Yeah.
I have like 3 or 4 different types of knives. I have a pocket knife with all the different things.
You don't have like a favorite sleeping bag or tent or setup or anything?
I have a really nice Kelty sleeping bag that I love. That, to be honest, it's the mummy bag.
Yep.
And if I could do it again, I don't think I'd do the mummy bag. I think it tapers too much.
Yeah.
Mainly because I don't do too much cold weather camping. Might help a little bit better in cold. But I like to stretch around and move out sleeping. I don't like to
what's
have my
funny
legs
is
confined.
I kind of want a backup bag. You know what I mean?
Dude, I got like 4 or 5 sleeping bags, man. You need to get some backup
I need to get some more, dude. I only have I have 2. But the one I have is I got from my uncle. It's like 80s era that's super puffy, not really insulated well, I think I'm going to pick up one of those like $40 ones.
Yeah, that's
Costco.
Two of mine are like the cheap kind of just whatever ones, and I just use them just lay them out as bedding, padding.
Yep.
And then one is a Coleman that like wasn't crazy expensive, but it's all like really nice thick
Material?
cotton cloth. It's
Okay,
not
yeah. Like flannel on the inside?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so that's
Say no
the
more.
warm blanket one right there.
Okay, gotcha.
And then and the Kelty one is the mummy bag should I need it. But then I have the marmot tent that I love.
Dude, Marmot that's my sleeping bag. I love Marmot, dude. That's funny because on the 10th episode, did you listen to that?
I did.
I was talking about your tent.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it, yeah.
Yeah, the tungsten. I love that tent.
Yeah, the tungsten.
They redesigned it and they made it even more.
I think they have one that's a little bit bigger too. You could fit a few, right? Is that
Yeah.
right? Mine fits 2 people pretty comfortably if you're not big or move a lot.
Yeah, I sent an email to Eureka wanting to buy like a new bag for my tent because it's starting to tear. They just sent me another bag. They're like, here you go. Don't worry about it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? It's so nice.
Yeah, what I love about I know lots of tents are like this now, but I just love that, I absolutely love that you can set that thing up if you really wanted to, you could set it up in a minute or less.
Yeah. Dude, look at those coals, homie.
Let's get that one heating up.
That's fire. Yeah, what I like about your tent is just the viewable area around it.
Mm-hmm.
When the fly's off, you could see 360. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it really is. I never sleep with that thing on.
Yeah.
Part of me wants to do that tonight, but I've got a really nice bed set up in the RAV4. I'm gonna
That sounds
try
good.
that out.
You got to build a relationship with your RAV4, man.
Yeah.
You got to trust her. You got to trust her. Let her take care of you.
Well, I'm not gonna baby her.
No. Well, we know that.
What other essentials have you talked about?
Just tent and EDC. That's it.
What about chair? What
Haven't
kind of chair
gone
do you
that.
like?
No, this chair that you guys, I have my own lift, but it's like probably twice as big as yours.
I mean, it depends on your
cumbersome.
situation, but yeah, I brought the Relax the Back chair because it's lightweight and it folds down pretty slim compared to some of these.
You don't mind if I give this a shot
Do
here?
it.
So this is one of those zero gravity chairs. And the only thing about it is, are you getting a little cold with the air underneath you?
But check out the stargazing ability,
Oh, the stargazing is, wow. All right, sold.
right?
Yeah.
Once you're back like that in the horizontal position.
Oh, dude. And
Because you could even turn sideways to the fire to get yourself warmth.
dude, you could actually sleep on here in your sleeping bag.
Right.
Absolutely, you could.
Mhm.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so a zero gravity chair might be the way to go if you have the room in your vehicle.
I think you're right.
Because you got both positions. You got the upright,
Dude.
chat with everybody, ghost story position.
All right, I think you sold me on bringing my chair from now on.
I got that from you because you used to bring it.
Yeah, I know. I used to. But I have it in storage at Geese's place. I got to get it out. Dude, I want to get into hammock camping.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was looking at you can buy the quilt, the underquilt, for like $100.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just use your sleeping bag inside of it, and then you'll be fine. Nice and toasty. Look where Orion's gone. The North Star. It's right there.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, these are the kind of things like, it'd be cool to go camping with your kids and teach them how to do all that stuff, you know? I feel like if you're not doing that, like, how are you preparing your kid for life? Because, you know, I mean, I'm granted, you don't have to have life out here to be
Yeah,
fulfilled.
nobody needs these skills, but I don't think it's preparing them for life. I think it's exposing them to Earth.
Yeah, maybe that's
more
what
than
it is.
anything. Like, I mean, you could.
But I guess for me, that's so synonymous that it's so critically important that if I didn't, I would be doing a disservice to
Oh yeah.
my kid and to humanity. I feel like we got to carry on those traditions. You know what I mean? It's like it's our
Well, I mean,
responsibility.
You know, my mom, when I was just back in town for the Christmas break, my mom was talking to me about grounding.
Okay.
You know, have you heard of grounding?
No.
And I don't know much more than what the little bit she told me, and I don't remember how much she told me other than essentially you connect with, you in your bare feet, you connect with Earth, and you really take a minute to connect, to really let yourself feel it, and that actually has measurable impact on your, life, health, psyche, everything, that you've given yourself those moments to actually take in the energy of the earth. I could have explained that wrong. That's the way I like to think of it, but it's grounding. So essentially you stand in your backyard or in a park or in the desert or wherever, and you just ground yourself.
You're supposed to be like barefoot?
I think that's the idea.
Okay.
That you can feel. I don't think you have to be.
Okay.
You know, I think it's more about probably where your mind is, what you're thinking.
I could see the value in that.
I could see. I mean,
Yeah.
it's very meditative. I think it's like meditating with nature, kind of.
Totally.
You know? I mean, I feel like that's what I do when I look at the stars or something. I feel like I'm connecting with the cosmos.
I totally agree with that.
With the, you can't really do that in the city.
It's kind of like, that may be actually why the beach is so relaxing. Because think about it, who wears their fucking shoes at the beach? You're just like in the sand. You're like,
Well, and you're
there,
facing
peace.
you're facing nature. You know, your back is to humanity.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true. You're staring 180.
Nobody goes to the beach and stares back at humanity.
That's true. Wouldn't you like to be the assholes who are actually looking back at the bungalows? Gosh, look how bright Orion is, dude. It's so bright.
Ooh, man, God, it
feel
looks
like
like
it just got brighter.
it's like lit up from behind.
I know.
Like the night brights. Is that what those were called?
Light brights.
Light brights.
Yeah, I used to love those. Light bright, turn on the magic of colored lights.
Good Lord. Wow. This must be what the freckles on my shoulder look like. They just sort of blend into one another after a while.
You can see the Milky Way too, the band. It's so cool.
See, Greg, this is key.
Yeah, there you go.
With the zero gravity chair.
Yeah.
Give yourself
Stare up at those stars, man.
Give yourself a.
You may have found your first, your absolute camping essential right there, Al.
And if people don't know what a zero gravity chair is, it's the chair that starts as a chair position and then folds back to like a horizontal cot, and then right back up.
Did you hear that?
What, did you rip one?
No. There's definitely a varmint or something cruising around here. Probably a raccoon. I always liked raccoons. I just thought they look like they're fun. They look like they're fun
And
guys.
I remember in Ohio, like some of our camping trips, there would be, we'd be right here and we'd turn around, they're 8 feet behind you, and there's 10 of them on the picnic table, like just ripping up your marshmallows and hot dogs. You're like, what the fuck?
Get away. When we were at Pine Canyon Camp, when I was like a teenager, I was like in the Chiricahua Mountains, like south of Tucson. They had black bears. Like every day, we would have to take nap time. They called it like horizontal hour. You had to we literally had to take a fucking nap.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a Bible camp, so you prayed or did whatever or took a nap or what. It was just quiet reflection time. But the bears would come out and the raccoons, and it's funny because the raccoons were like being all like sneaky and trying to get in there, and the bears just about boom, they just knock shit over. They didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, I think as far as mammals out here, I bet you there's deer, bunny, raccoons, bobcats,
foxes,
fox. I don't know if mountain lions. I don't see
don't
why
think so.
not. I mean, maybe it's too low, but
I feel like it is, man. But
do you think
I know?
they'd come down here and get some deer? I don't know, because there's deer's got to be around here.
There's definitely bats and owls.
Chipmunks.
Yep. Probably some hawks. Definitely plenty of. Actually, dude, I don't hear any fucking birds.
There's
bro.
probably little mice running around.
I haven't heard any birds. And also, not even when we were driving during the day. Did you hear any birds?
No.
Oh,
There's
there's
really?
the train. Fuck yeah. That's awesome.
What a brilliant sound.
I love that sound.
God, that's just great. Who invented the train whistle?
I know. That's a good episode. We should do that.
Yeah, it's the sound of the West.
I know.
You know, it's the sound of Western America, because the West was here a lot longer than the train whistle was.
It reminds me of it's so synonymous with like exploring. When I used to visit my brother up in Flagstaff,
Mm-hmm.
you would hear the trains all the time, and I would stay in his dorm. in his loft, and he had like this extra bed, and it was just like you hear the train in the middle of the night. It was always a good time.
I don't know if you. I don't think you're. I definitely don't think you feel this way, being from Arizona. But coming from Ohio and then moving to Arizona, all the people from Arizona, none of them ever seem to appreciate the West or like the little mining towns or even the mountains.
Yeah,
I think people in Arizona are just so used to it if they grew up there. But
I think they are.
it's awesome. Like,
It is
I
awesome.
mean, it's really cool, especially coming from the Midwest and stuff, and everything is so flat and so similar. And yeah, you get a lot of water and lakes and stuff, but to have all these like really cool mountain towns and like dirt roads that go for miles and miles and miles that old wagons used to take.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, there's something about the. Yeah, I
And
don't
just
know.
how vast it is too. How
There's so much
big
space. Yeah, exactly.
between cities, because
Yep.
you can't go more than 30 or 40 miles in the Midwest without coming across a road or a
Yeah.
town or a water tower.
Yeah,
You can go 100 miles out here and not see anything sometimes.
it's true. Yeah, like you've been to Tombstone, obviously, right?
Uh-huh.
Dude, that's such a fun town. You just get a sense of like it hasn't really changed all that much. You know what I mean?
You know where we need to go?
Where?
To the spot of the events of the fire in the sky
Oh,
in
that,
1975.
that would be cool.
It's up near Winslow, kind of.
Yeah.
Turkey
It's
Creek.
snow. What is it? Snowflake? Snow?
Yeah, it's not quite that far. It's
Yeah.
like, but how cool would it be to go to that site?
Dude, it would be cool. I worked with someone who knew, like, the guy who got abducted was the uncle of a girl he dated. When I
Wow.
worked at Joe's. Yeah.
Any insight to that? And
He just said that.
he maintains the truth.
Yeah, like they.
Have you seen the YouTube interviews of him?
No.
I mean, he sounds as intelligent and with it as anybody could
Yeah.
be.
He passed the
mean-
lie detector test too.
Oh yeah, all the guys did, and many times.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah, me too.
I don't believe that it's happened the way that they depicted it in the movie.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what's really creepy?
What's that?
There's a few YouTube videos of him explaining the actual detail of his experience,
Mm-hmm.
and he explains them being humans, that he didn't know where he was. He ran away, went into this room, was hiding in the room trying to find how to get out of this place, right?
Mm-hmm.
People come in
Mm-hmm.
and they don't say anything to him.
Okay.
They stare at him, and he said you would not be able to pick them out of a lineup other than their eyes are different, but they're humans.
Oh wow.
And he said they were trying to control me with their like telepathy or
Mm.
something, because they didn't say anything. They were just giving him this like very deep look kind of thing. Then this guy comes in and grabs him by the arm
Mm-hmm.
and takes him to this other room, like grabbing him by the arm, pulling him in, and he's like kind of trusting him because he's a human
Mm-hmm.
figure.
Wow.
But how creepy is that?
Fucking nuts.
Think about if the aliens actually are human figures, which is, again, in my opinion, more likely
Yes, I agree.
than not.
They're just us from the future, dude. That's
Yes,
what they
or
are.
it doesn't have to be even from the future. It could be
Cross-dimensional,
humans evolved maybe here or maybe somewhere else and just traveled all over and just decided to spread themselves.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
and just like we go, if you and I started a tribe and we got into a fucking tiff with each other, one of us would go start another fucking tribe over there.
Right. I don't like the way you're running this tribe.
I want to go find my own planet.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I love that movie Prometheus, dude. What a great movie.
I don't think I saw Prometheus.
Oh, you haven't seen that? Oh my god, it's fucking good, dude. It's basically a prequel to the Aliens movies. But it's about the origin of humanity, and just
I'll
so
have to
dope.
see it.
Dude. You've got to see it.
Everything about religion
Mm-hmm.
points toward, if you just erased the name God
Mm-hmm.
and put alien being or extraterrestrial,
Mm-hmm.
what would be the difference?
True.
Really, what would be the difference?
Jesus was immaculately conceived, and
God made us
God
in
put a
His own
image.
image.
Exactly. No, I agree, man. I'm not saying it was aliens, but it was aliens. Well, you want to wrap it?
Yeah,
think?
sure.
We should go out on. Are you gonna light this tree on fire?
Oh yeah, should. How do you want to do that?
Yeah. How should we do that? Cut it up, probably, huh?
Yeah, probably.
So otherwise, it'll rage. Although it could be kind of cool.
Yeah.
We just gotta make sure nothing catches.
Yeah, that's true. Even cut it in half.
Yeah, maybe. If we're gonna do that, we should probably de-mic.
Cool.
Right?
You gonna
You
do
good?
it?
Yeah. Well, let me do an outro.
Okay.
Where we at? Oh shit.
What are we at?
Hour and 11. We went
Oh.
another 20. That's cool. Well, everybody, we are going to get about burning this tree, so we need to cut it up into pieces. So I will try to get some photos of that, because that should be kind of cool if we get some good shots. But thank you for joining us as we ventured back into the world of camping. Again, we're up here at Mid Hills Campground outside of Nipton, California. Come check it out. Fantastic views. Great area to kind of just camp and relax, especially it's weeknight. But fuck, this was a great place. What do you think?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's exceeded my expectations.
Amen.
And accessible by car.
Yeah.
Dirt
absolutely.
road, but nothing strenuous.
Yeah, that's true. That actually is a good selling point for it. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for joining us. Send me an email, campfirewisdom@gmail.com. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.
Oh, it's only
Campfire Wisdom is brought to you from the hills of Rancho Cucamonga. We'd like to thank the men and women that protect our national parks and forests. You make this journey possible. Theme music by Sean Cromwell.